Here with Hungrybox, fourth place at EVO 2018 for Super Smash Bros. Melee. It's weird to say that.
A little bit.
I thought a little bit higher, but it wasn't like all the games you played, they were well fought, I felt like. I didn't feel like those losses were any gimps. I felt like those were hard fought on both ends, and winner and loser. So how do you feel kind of about how you placed?
It's weird to me because last year I legitimately had a food poisoning or stomach virus, pick your poison, literally, and I somehow managed to squeeze my way back to third place. This time I slept well, I didn't indulge, I just took care of myself, made it to winner's side of top 8, and I opened up the entire top 8 with a blast, almost a 4-stock in the first game, and then Leffen just carried momentum, and then I fell off of it after I missed a rest, and that sign right there, how much he could switch given the first game and keep his composure, really was an early sign to me after I lost that set, and I thought, he might actually win this tournament this time when I saw that. So it was very impressive. But on my end, I thought I did everything right. I just had some bad beats, and the rest didn't hit this time. It's probably karma for me landing the stupidest rest that I have over the course of much of this 2018. So I accept it.
When we were in the media room and we were talking to our photo crew, I said during that Leffen in your set, I said, be there and be ready, because no matter who wins this, there's going to be a very cathartic reaction from either one.
Yeah.
Talk to Leffen about it a little bit. There's definitely some personal beef there. There's some in-game beef there.
Oh, yeah.
Did it feel like that match was win it all?
A little bit, yeah. I was pretty confident. As soon as I'm in best of 5 land, I do feel that I can be the best player in the world, but I have to be there first. And EVO's format is, the only one that actually does best of 3. It's a great spectator candy, and it's tradition. And I'm not saying we should change it. It's kind of like I compare it to tennis. They don't all play on the same court. There's grass courts, clay courts, and concrete, I believe it is. And so it's like you can't change tradition because it elevates different aspects of play. I've taken advantage of it in EVO 2016. I've had amazing comebacks there. I've also had, near heart attack scares, Shootout almost beating me in day 2. So the format's just something you have to get used to. It's just that once you're on that stage, it's rough. The crowd is loud. The commentators are loud. And you have everything just facing you. And it's really hard to just zone in as you would to regional or national when you're on EVO and you know that there's 200,000 people watching you. It's a completely different atmosphere. So you really need to pretend you're just at home playing friendlies, because if you miss your combos and you don't get your punishes, you will lose. And I learned that and confirmed that in a pretty hard way. But that's how it is. You need to be that good to win.
I had a line in that feature we did together about you and Armada meeting on the biggest stage again, just like you did in 2016. You did, but it wasn't in the grand final. And that was a pretty close set. And kind of walk me through that and what you were feeling.
Game 1, I took my Leffen approach, but even more patient. Game 2, it went almost to time, where even percent, but I was never looking for the timeout versus Armada. With him, I was looking for the grab, the edge guard, because I think it would be scary trying to time out a Fox. I almost never do that. And he just got this crazy out of shield up smash read on my aerial, and I was just pretty taken aback by it. And the problem is when someone gets that such hard read on me, it really brings me down. I feel human all of a sudden. And then game 3, I'm just like, oh crap, he really boomed me that time. You know what I mean? So I get a little more nervous, and then I get the hits in. I think he opened game 3 with this just obscene nair double reverse back air up smash combo, and all of a sudden I was at 3-stock in the first 20 seconds. And that's hard to come back from. I don't care what the masses say. Puff Fox is a hard matchup. Sure, I've shown more tricks and I've shown more stuff to start. It's very, very possible, obviously, but that character is designed to really murder Puff on a bad day. So you have to be really careful. You have to respect it. But even with my respect, the Swedes just had one number on me that they didn't really show at Low Tier City or some of these past events, and they really stepped it up today. So I got to hand it to them. I think that if I would have beaten Armada, I would have done the double reset on Leffen, only because I knew sort of how to get into his playstyle a little bit. But you have to earn that spot too. So there's no telling what actually would have happened. But I was feeling very confident, and I really pick up the sort of the slingshot effect, the losers bracket. But Armada deserved it more. He beat me fair and square.
Of all the Smash players, among the top best, you have a very thorough support system in your coach, your girlfriend, etc.
Yeah.
security was really tight here throughout the event. Were your girlfriend and your coach able to get backstage with you?
I refused to go into the venue until they got in. So we actually had to sit outside for about 45 minutes. And I got Lewis to bring the laptop down so we could all sit together and warm up. There's no point in me being here by myself and just doing it. I can't get hyped up. I can't focus. I need a support group there. I need 2 people I can at least think about in my head when I'm playing. It's a rough crowd too, as you know. But I also received a lot of love this weekend, which was really, really uplifting to me. A lot of fans, there's a lot of people who see past the character, they see past, all this animosity, and that's good to see. I think everyone at this point has a good set of fans. And one big thing I noticed about Leffen, the best of him, the best in him, the good in him, really, really only comes out after he's achieved what he's always wanted. After he's gotten the win that he's been desiring for so long.
He's a very much first or nothing kind of guy.
It's like a different side of him when it comes out.
Yeah.
And the wackiest part is that I saw myself a lot in that too, especially in the past. I used to have this thing where if I lost, the world around me was crumbling, and I would take it out on my friends, and I would take it out on people, and, posting nothings and doing all that. So I see that there's good in him, and I just wish that I wish somehow I could convey the fact that we both take competing so seriously. We both put everything we have into it. That's why this game is so draining for us, physically, mentally, emotionally, to the point where we become completely different people than what we intend to be, I feel. I wish there was a way to convey it to him, to show that when you lose, I can see that your frustration. I can see all this you've been dealing with, all this self-doubt about your play style, about wanting to be the best and it never coming to you. And today he proved to himself, as he had sort of a long time coming. He's one of the most talented players in the world, one of the highest skill peaks in the world. And the fact that he was basically able to almost 3-0 everyone today on a good day, given the pressure, given the circumstance, is a mark of his greatness. And I will always think that. I just hope that someday the same sentiment can be returned. Because all of us, myself, Mango, Mito King Armada, all the top guys in this game, we go out there ready to bleed. And we look pretty pale afterwards. So we're all in this for as hard as possible.
I said to him a couple hours ago that, ironically, despite you two being very opposed to one another, that in some ways you are very similar. You have extremely high highs. When you win, when you feel good about yourself, when you're confident, you are amazing. You both in-game and out. You guys are really next-level people, the way you act. But when you're in the low lows, you're very much in the dumpster, and both of you, I feel, have that.
Yeah.
And you're very similar personalities, and that's the same post against each other, right? It's just like magnets. Do you think that you two are a little bit more similar than you'd like to let off?
Neither of us will admit it, but we probably are. I think. I'm just, as has been with my beef with Mango back in the past and the whole 2013 drama. Maybe it takes a win to sort of see what it took to win. Maybe until you can finally hold the gold in your hand, that's when you can actually look back and see the trail that you had to blaze to make yourself get there. That was the case for me. Until I won EVO 2016, there was so much about myself that I was in denial about. And only after that win that I realized, wow, I still have a lot of growing up to do. And you need that humility. Some people get humility from getting handed just an ass smacking, just handed a horrible loss. Some people get humility from there, but other people get humility from finally getting the win and being like, what do I do with this? Holy crap, I actually did it. It's unexpected, but that's what it takes you for you to learn it.
I see that in you as someone that's covered you for a long time, that you take losses a lot better now. You used to take them very, very hard on your sleeve, and you wouldn't want to talk to anyone after a loss. And now you're sitting here with me, and you lost today. And what's changed?
Smash used to be, I had this like mentally this bucket called happiness and one called everything else that makes me sad. For a long time, Melee was the only thing making me happy. Nothing in my family, my relationship, nothing in anything else I was doing, my old, job at West Rock. It was all just stuff that I would wake up and, as Tom York would said, I keep thinking about it, I wasn't living, I was just killing time, right? But when I'm on the stage, every second's like a gift. It's like amazing. It's like I'm finally, thank you, God, for giving me a reason to actually do something that gives me like meaning. What changed was that I needed to fix just a lot my personal life, and now my happiness is spread across evenly. So when I lose one, which was the win at Evo, I still have other things to look forward to. I have a new career now. I'm back to the workforce. Really a lot of improvements to my personal life, my relationship. Just things have been a lot more balanced. I used to think that the purpose of balancing my like everything outside of Smash, the purpose of that was to win in Smash. Like I was only doing all that for the end goal of Smash. But now I'm realizing that that's not the purpose you do it. This is just one of the sprinkles on top. If this goes well, that's great. I get a nice paycheck. I get, people hyped, people angry. I get discussing, sure, that's great. But it's a highlight. You'll win it. I could have won this Evo, and then maybe 2 months later, everyone's on to the next thing. Maybe people will talk about Leffen for a few months, and then it'll be gone. Every single achievement in your life is very bright. It fades away, and then you got to push yourself back up there. That's what being the best goes for. It's like, oh yeah, I know I did it once, but if I can't do it again, am I really a champion? So I don't know. That's why I want the 2-0 so badly, and that's why I want Melee to come back, and that's why I want people to share those viewership numbers. Yeah. That's why I want people to see what Melee is, to look past the complaints about it, to look past what sometimes could be a beautiful but sometimes a toxic fan base. You need to see Melee, whether you're Nintendo or Mr. Wizard or a spectator, and realize that no game like Melee will ever come out again.
Special.
It's special for a lot of people. It means a lot to a lot of people. It's given lives to a lot of people. So I want to make sure, even if it means me not being where I am now, me not competing, me not being cheered for, as long as Melee is still there as an option for people, I can sleep Sunday night. Because it's saved a lot of people. There's nothing like it. So I'm hoping they can really see that. And I hope the show everyone put on today and Leffen's win really invigorated that feeling back in people. Because we don't deserve Melee, but somehow we got it.
You said earlier in this interview that you got a lot of love this weekend from fans that were here. Last time we spoke at CEO, it was something that was really on your mind, I could tell. That you thought about the people that constantly get after you on Twitter and Facebook and invade your personal life and go after you constantly over the little minutia of whatever you say, just the little things. Does it feel different now?
It just feels like if I had the chance to sit down with every single one of those people for 5 to 10 minutes and share a coffee with them and talk to them, maybe they would see that there's a difference between every single thing you hear online about someone and what they're actually like. That's why whenever I hear anything from anyone, I always take it with a grain of salt. Because now that I know that this image of Hungrybox has been painted everywhere versus what I actually am, I just have to forgive them. I just wish, hopefully, I meet this person at the tournament one time and hopefully I can talk to him. Because the only way you can change someone's mind is to show them who you really are. But you can't do that always. So you have to deal with it. And words can only do so much. It's your actions that matter more. I will always compete and I will always push it to whatever I can do. So it doesn't feel too different from CEO for now, but time heals anything. It changes stuff. I can only control my Jigglypuff. Yeah.
So we talked about this on the way over here to this room. It feels like Melee is changing, which it's kind of crazy to me because it's been kind of the same kind of cookie cutter format. If you look at Evo this year, you look at the placements, Mewtwo King got 13th, and that's an anomaly. But it's not becoming an anomaly much anymore. There is a lot of inconsistency among the 5 gods. I mean, one of PPMD's retired, and sometimes Mango has those bad days, and sometimes Mewtwo King has those bad days. And there have been this breadth of players that they're not new, but they're younger, and they haven't played as long as most of you. You have people like Zane. You have people like Wizrope who are getting immensely better. And you have Plup and Leffen who on any given day can win the tournament.
Yep.
They can really take it.
Yep.
And so, we've been in this era of the 5 gods where you have these players, the 5 of you, who the 5 of you were the ones that won the tournament. And Leffen started to break that up 3 years ago. Plup is now able to break that up. And it seems like more people are coming for that title too, and it makes it a lot harder on people like you and Armada in particular, but Mango and Mewtwo King as well to keep up. Does it feel like something's changing to you in the community and the way the tournaments are playing out?
I mean, you can say Melee, whenever someone says Melee is getting stagnant, the next day Armada loses to Swedish Delight.
Yep.
A 9-year streak ends out of nowhere, out of thin air. You can say that, and then Zane gets 3rd place at Summit. And people would put guns to their head and be like, this is not going to happen tomorrow. I'll put all my money in my life that Zane won't place top 3, and then it just actually happens. And that's why it is. It's like when you improve in Melee and go that fast, like the improvement is exponential. The moment you break through, and trust me when I say this, everyone knows for a fact the moment they broke through. I knew the moment for me. The moment it happened, I was like, oh my God, I understand Melee. And then I just placed top 5 in all the tournaments and became pro. People understand that. It's just like you get this, you feel like you can look at anyone's play style and just say I'm 3 steps ahead of you. Like you're gonna do this, yep, grab. And it just all comes to you, don't have to try. Few games offer that kind of improvement. Few games offer that many options to make you have that much depth. But for a game to be 17 years old and the results are slowly starting to shake up, there is definitely an elite. There's definitely people who are just, even either born with the ability to be good at those kinds of games, or people who just have a really good talent at picking up things quickly. Those players have a struggle for a while. Plup and Leffen, the reason those 2 are celebrated so much, they were still to this day the only 2 people in the world to take a set off the 5 gods. And unsurprisingly, they are also the people now who are, in the echelon. 2 of the top 4, half of the top 4 players in the world are the God Slayers. The Armada and I somehow using our defensive play style to still get around it. It's much harder, I think, for Mango and Mewtwo King to keep up. Mango, because he was the only player, I think him and none, maybe now, are the only players in the world who can resort to aggression as the right option. But the amount of perfection now needed to do that in 2018 is obscene. I don't blame Mango at all for getting the placements that he does. His play style is the hardest one to master in the world and to win with. It's just how it is. I mean, that's why he's also the most fun to watch.
But it also peaks really high, right? When he's good on it, it's unbeatable.
Yeah. When he the question is who has the highest peak in the world. I think after today, a lot of people were saying Leffen, but peak Mango is unbeatable. But peak Mango,
it's hard to get.
It used to come once every few weeks, then and then a few years later, once every few months. Now peak Mango, Royal Flush last year, once a year. Maybe it might come out in Big House or at SmashCon, but he's unbeatable on peak. There is a change happening with net play with all the new guides. Zane's the best example of that I have. I promise you that with a guy like Swedish Delight beating Armada, 2019 will feature more top players losing to people they've never lost to than any other year. That's my prediction. That's where we are. And this is the transition year. It went from, these 2 or 3 guys are winning everything to now, look, every single tournament that had 4+ Smash Gods in it has been won by a different person this year. It's a little weird, right? But also fascinating. And I think it's a really good sign to not really know who's going to win any tournament with the gods featured in it.
If PPMD never comes back, no one will ever have the chance to be the God Slayer again, because there will only be 4 of you, and that doesn't complete the five God victory.
That's not true, because one of the guys who may have beat PPMD in the past can still.
Well, that's true, but
yes, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, if you're someone like Zane, it's difficult.
No, I think even though he's not coming back, if you can beat me, Armada, Mewtwo King, Mango, and Plup, and Leffen, you are now part of the Pantheon.
So that leads me to another question.
Yeah.
If you have to create a new narrative for this game, what is it? Because it can't be Five Gods with six people.
Right. You can't really say Five Gods anymore.
And can't be Five Gods when one of them is missing, and the two people that filled in the gap were not originally gods.
All right. Your narrative is there's only room for one person at the throne of Melee at a time. That's your narrative. They can't share it. And only one person in a given year can accomplish the most. That's the order that there has to be. In Smash 4 with 0, that's how it was. And that 0 was and always will be the narrative of Smash 4. In Melee, given the fact that the people in this Big Six can all beat each other on a certain given day, it makes it a little hard to tell who has that stronghold. But I really do think with the amount of events that are happening, whoever can go there and perform the most overall, given every single day, every single circumstance, all the counter picks, all the matchups, all the adaptation, they're the best. And that's why I want to compete so often. That's why I want to go so often. I want to show to people, sure, I got a bad beat at EVO, Smash Summit had rough pools, but overall, I want to make playing me as hard as possible. That's what I want to do. As frustrating and as hard as possible, because that's what I know I can do.
Before today, you were 100% that person. And like Low Tier City, CEO, just the list goes on of what you've done this year. You got your number 1 ranking again in the summer rankings last week.
Yeah.
You said it's going to get harder. I 100% agree with you that it's going to get harder to maintain that. What do you personally have to do to sit atop that throne when we look at the winter rankings this winter?
I think if I keep doing exactly what I've been doing for the entire year, I will get rank 1. I think I just need to change nothing. It might sound silly given my loss today, but I know exactly what I need to do to win, and I know exactly why I lost. You got to be happy. You got to really be happy. Be really happy with your wins, obviously, and almost be happier when you lose, because you know it gives you a chance to just come right back and go right back. It keeps it exciting, keeps it fresh for you. So practicing for 3 hours, 4 hours on my computer at home does nothing for me. But having a great time with my friends on a weekend at a tournament and then sitting down competing, after going in the pool, having some drinks, or going sightseeing, and then we sit down, that's when I play my best. When I know that everything's going to be okay if I win or lose. That safety net is what brings out my peak.